Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So, I get a lot of questions and I try to answer them as best as possible, but sometimes a video is a little bit better. Here's one of those. What happens when a client forgets to pay? So, someone comes to your booth, they get a whole bunch of plates, and then you end up talking and they start turning away. What do you do? Here's some tips to avoid the situation altogether. So when someone comes up, especially at a license plate meet, a flea market, a car show, and they have a bunch of plates, actually once they're done, I say, oh, here, let me take them. And I take them and I keep them by me. That way, you're kind of in control of the situation, and what I do is I flip them over. As most of you have seen, I actually have a business card on the back of all my plates with a whole bunch of information and the price. And that way I can take off that sticker, stick it down, and then I total it up, and if there's a discount, I give them a discount and whatnot. And that way I can record for tax purposes if I ever need to, if I ever get profitable in this business, which I doubt. But anyway, I keep a good record just in case taxman comes knocking. I can show them all that. But that's a totally different video. So that's what I do right away. So that way you have the plates and then you don't release the plates until you get paid. That has worked immensely. And it's hard because sometimes the plates are in front of you. You do that, they stack them, they put on their arm and stuff like that. Now, if you're in a situation and they have the plates and they're starting to leave, which I've been in a number of times without payment, my go-to line is, "Oh, are you gonna just PayPal me when you get home?" And that usually stops them in their track. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. How much do I owe you? And then you finish the transaction. Now, that will work with people you know well. I have a guy, love him, easy talker. Just talk. And usually we exchange plates, and then we figure something out, and then he talks. And then finally he gets in to leave, and then I have to pull that line. Well, let's say you're dealing with you're at a car show or a swap meet and you have no clue who this person is. The best line I've come up with is, "Oh, do I owe you change?" And that usually stops them in the track and go, "Oh wait, no, I didn't pay you yet. Oh, okay." And then you can finish your transaction. That's, if you can't keep in control of the plates, that's kind of your next best step. Now, what if something happens and they actually walk away? That gets a little bit more complicated. If you know them, it's easy. You just reach out and say, "Hey, I hate to ask, but did you walk away without paying? I'd probably phrase it as, hey, I think we got to talking and we forgot to finish the deal." I'd phrase it as that way. If you don't know the person, then you're kind of SOL. So, first, when you're setting up at a meet or a show, always have a clean little section for you to grab plates, take them down, write stuff down. And that's the best way you can do it. If it's Iola, Jefferson, a Dairyland show, even one of mine. It's best just to have a little clean area with nothing there so you can handle transactions, keep cash out. They hand you a 50 and you have to, make change, and you have to hand them back 30 or 40. Then the bill's right there. They can say, "Oh, what did I hand you? Oh, it's a 50. It's right here." I usually use my phone as like a paperweight on the bill. So then it's all there. And then what I do is I usually have like a change pocket where I make change out of, and then anytime someone gives me a bill, it stays until the transaction is done, and then I put it in a different, put it in a wallet or a money bag, so it's kind of separate. Makes it more enjoyable at the end of the meet where you go, "Ooh, I have some spending money." But yeah, and I think communication is definitely key in any situation dealing with customers, because peopling is hard, especially a lot of us are on the spectrum, so it's hard to really know what social norms are, right? Especially if you're dealing with someone who isn't on the spectrum. Usually, if they're on the spectrum, we figure it out. If they're not, it can create some tension. But I think having those steps in place, having a system, having one of my checklists of what I've put on my Ko-fi page, which there's a link down below, which is a free resource for the simple tally sheet of plates in, plates out, money in, money out, is really a lifesaver, because you can then go down and go, oh, I didn't write this down, it must not be paid. And that's why I kind of do it that way, just kind of keep things organized, because it can be it can be very chaotic at a license plate meet, because there's a lot of talking, a lot of catching up to do with guys you haven't seen in a couple months, or even a year or so, if they only come once in a while. So it's something to keep in mind, and that's why I also do hold folders, keeps things separate, and makes it easy where you have their person's name right there, their contact information. They come, oh, here, oh, hey, good to see you. Hey, I got your plates right here. Boom, pull them out. They can look at them, stuff like that. So I hope that really helps. If you have more questions, comment below. Reach out. I'm on all the social medias. I know I'm not great at keeping up at them at this point. I think I have a lot going on, and I'm trying to make priorities and see what priorities stick. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I'm trying to grow the channel, so if you could subscribe, that'd be amazing. Thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye.